Okay, let's unpack this. Today we're really diving into something critical for, well, pretty much anyone in the defense industrial base, the DIB, CMMC compliance.
Yeah, it's a big one.
It is. And our mission here really is to cut through all that complexity. We want to give you the essentials, maybe some practical shortcuts for navigating CMMC, especially when it comes to level 1. Think of it like maybe accelerated training for the DIB.
Exactly. And what's really key, I think, is understanding the strategic angle. It's not just what CMMC asks for, but how you can tackle it smartly, particularly that level 1 self-assessment piece.
Right.
We're aiming for those, aha moments, give you actionable steps that hopefully feel a bit more useful than just reading the manual.
Okay, so let's start with that first big choice, that strategic fork in the road. It's the enterprise versus the enclave approach for CMMC.
Right.
So when we talk about an enterprise approach, just picture your whole company's IT setup. Every system, every user, all the networks, if any part of it might touch federal contract information, FCI, or controlled unclassified information, CUI, it's in scope.
The whole thing.
The whole thing. And the immediate implication there usually means, well, a much bigger compliance job. More expensive, definitely more complex, because all those CMMC controls suddenly apply everywhere. Although, for some really small companies, maybe with very simple IT, bringing everything in scope might counterintuitively be the easier path. Less segregation to worry about, maybe.
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
But, okay, what if your IT is more spread out? Or perhaps you only handle CUI for certain specific contracts, not everything you do.
That's where the enclave approach fits in, right?
Exactly. Think of it like building a secure room, a vault, inside your bigger office building. It's basically an isolated IT environment. It could be logically separated or physically separate, and it's built specifically to handle and protect just the CUI and FCI.
Okay, so fencing it off.
Pretty much. And the big advantage is it usually slashes the cost and complexity.
Yeah.
Because now only that dedicated enclave has to meet all the tough CMMC requirements.
But there's a catch, I assume.
Oh, yeah, there's definitely a catch. That vault needs to be seriously secure. Like ironclad, we're talking really strong network segmentations, tight access controls, maybe even a totally separate cloud environment.
To stop leaks.
Absolutely. You have to prevent that CUI leaking out into the rest of your company network. And you can bet the government looks really, really closely at how well you've isolated it.
So it really makes you think, doesn't it? Which approach fits your specific operations, your budget, how robust your IT is already?
It's a foundational strategic question for any DIB contractor.
Okay, so that's the strategy piece. But once you've sort of figured that out, then comes the how, the practical steps. And for a lot of companies in the DIB, that journey starts with the CMMC Level 1 self-assessment in SPRS.
The Supplier Performance Risk System, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And this is where it gets, well, really interesting. Because the steps look simple on paper, but knowing the potential hiccups, that's the real shortcut. So, first thing, maybe a pro tip. You absolutely must have the SPRS cyber vendor user role. And that's granted in PIEE, the Procurement Integrated Enterprise Environment.
Right. Don't underestimate getting that role set up.
Seriously, people get stuck here. It's not always instant, so, get that ball rolling early. Okay, so once you have the role, you log into pi.eb.mil. You pick SPRS, then find the Cyber Reports module.
Okay.
Then you've got to select your company's hierarchy, the HLO, high-level organization, and your cage code. Make sure that's right for your specific part of the business. You'll see a little asterisk if your cyber vendor user role is active for that hierarchy.
Good check.
Then there's a CMMC Assessments tab. You click Add New Level 1 CMMC Self-Assessment. Fill out the field, click Continue to Affirmation. Now, here's a really key insight. Compliance with FAR 52.204211. That's the basic safeguarding rule for FCI in the Federal Acquisition Regulation. It's not just like a background thing. It's essential to actually get a final level 1 self-assessment status.
So you need to have implemented those basic FAR requirements first.
Exactly. Don't just click through thinking you'll sort it later. Verify you meet those FAR requirements before you even start this SPRS process. Then, if you're not the person who can officially attest, the affirming official, or AO.
Right, often the senior person.
Yeah, you can just transfer the assessment to them via email right from the system. They review it, they check the box, certify the statement, and click affirm. That makes it final.
And only final assessments are actually visible to the government folks, correct?
Correct. Anything else like draft, they can't see it. And another heads up, it expires after 1 year. Poof, back to no CMMC status, expired assessment. So you got to track that renewal.
Which, brings up a really practical question.
Yeah.
How do you make this whole admin process, this tracking, a bit easier?
Yeah, it can feel like a lot.
Well, another key takeaway here is that you don't necessarily have to juggle all this manually. There are tools out there built specifically for the DIB. For instance, if you're focused just on level 1, there's cybergap.us. It's actually a free CMMC level 1 assessment app.
Oh, interesting. Free is always good.
Right. It guides you through that level 1 process.
Yeah.
And then if you're looking for something broader, maybe covering higher CMMC levels or just needing a full governance, risk, and compliance, a GRC tool, there's cybercomply.us.
So options depending on your needs.
Exactly. They're designed to kind of streamline this journey for you, provide some structure.
Okay, so wrapping this up then, what does all this mean for you listening right now?
Well, you've got those big strategic choices, right? Enterprise versus enclave, how you scope your compliance effort. And you've also got a much clearer roadmap now, hopefully, for handling that CMMC Level 1 self-assessment in SPRS. Plus, the knowledge that there are tools, like CyberGap and CyberComply, specifically designed to help with this training and execution. Yeah, absolutely. And I think this whole discussion really highlights that CMMC, well, yeah, it's a requirement. It's not just a hurdle. It's also a real chance to strategically boost your cybersecurity.
Big point.
So maybe a final thought to leave you with. If you go the enclave route, think beyond just reducing the compliance burden. How could a really well-designed secure enclave actually improve your overall business security posture? Could it even become, a competitive advantage in the DIB? Something to mull over.